Hi, I'm Haerris.
I'm Kumar.
Welcome to Paddock Show again, episode 6.
Yes, what a weekend that was, yeah.
Yeah,
Bahrain GP, and it was havoc. The time that we spent with the the fans, and also thanks to Dark Horse for accommodating us again.
yes, to Walter, thank you very much for inviting us.
Yes, it was an awesome time indeed.
Mm.
And with the winners, I hope those they like their gifts. Right?
We gave out a die-cast, right?
Yes, there was a diecast of 143 scale Formula One car models, and basically, if you are a Formula One fan, you will definitely love it.
Mm.
Right.
Yeah, so the vibe, the ambience, everything.
The food,
was like
I
excellent.
had a lot.
Yeah, you could see all the race drivers and the race fans actually dress up in their merchandise.
Correct, and the setup was good.
Yeah,
right.
And they did their bookings like 1 or 2 weeks in advance.
Yeah, indeed, 1 or 2 weeks, and they are regulars.
Yeah.
Thanks for the regulars for coming back, and of course, don't forget, we will do it again, but in a informed time later part.
Yeah, so it was fantastic. And then speaking about Dark Horse, we also need to speak about Bahrain.
Yes, Bahrain GP. So Bahrain GP, we saw the winner. It was a close fight.
Yeah, very close.
Very close fight.
3 teams.
Yes. Let's see how it goes. And then again, like mentioned to your previous episodes, these are just the beginning part of the season. We don't really know how they're gonna cope later part. So as you can see from the previous years, some teams catch up, some teams fade away.
Yeah.
So hopefully that will be enticing more throughout the season.
Actually, what's interesting with Bahrain is a lot of the teams were actually very close to each other.
Yeah.
They are like less than 1 second apart.
And what amazes me is that Leclerc's Q2 time was actually faster than Max's pole time.
Yeah. They were talking about 1:29 for qualifying.
Yes, and they improve a lot.
Yeah.
Even the Mercedes, they are in fight actually.
Interesting, very interesting race and interesting developments. You see, like what we discussed in all our previous episodes, the testing is
Irrelevant.
irrelevant at all. So
Not
what
to say irrelevant, I mean, that's a wrong word to choose. Not irrelevant. I would say a benchmark.
Yeah,
for them to test everything and how they relay the performance to the track.
Okay.
Right?
So today, episode 6 is actually sponsored and also organized by Ace Cafe.
Yeah, I love this place, man. I mean, as a motorsport enthusiast, as a vehicle enthusiast, this place is awesome. You have the bikes showcase there. You have a Ducati at the on my right side, merchandise, and the food down. The cafe, awesome.
Yeah.
We have already tried it.
And they are the exclusive dealers for Indian motorcycles in Malaysia.
It's very rare. Those who are looking for rare bikes, Indian motorcycle is one of the best.
So over here, fans and also bike clubs also do gatherings and do parades together, do also road shows together.
Right, indeed.
Yeah, so thank you very much, Ace Cafe KL.
I would come again.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's like a building on its own, and they've got their own barber, they've got their own merchandise shop, they've got their own cafe, and they do live bands as well on Friday and Saturday nights. So you can always come and actually enjoy the music as well as the cocktails and the mocktails. Yeah. And there is a fantastic setup by these two individuals who are owners, and they are fantastic people.
If you want us to drop by with you guys, just DM us, we'll come by along.
So Ace Cafe is also available in Orlando as well as London.
It's actually international.
Yes, international brand.
Yep.
Okay, so this is where we are doing our episode 6.
Yes.
So which leads to also MotoGP, which we will cover shortly.
Yes.
Okay. So after Bahrain, where are we going?
We're going Jeddah.
Yeah,
actually.
Jeddah. So it's actually a back-to-back race weekend.
And it's super fast.
Yeah.
I love that track. Just that there was a concern of safety. Okay, just to take note, Jeddah, Arab Saudi, the track debuted in Formula One in 2021, and then if you remember that race, that was a very controversial race. We'll come to that. So this track is basically 6.1 kilometers length, and then we will cover 50 laps.
And 27 turns.
27 turns, yes. and the lap record holder for this track is Mr. Lewis Hamilton,
Yes.
right? And then in 2021, of course, those cars were quite faster.
Yes.
than
The W12 was actually very, very fast.
Yes. So and then covering a bit about the history of this racetrack, meaning to say the race that happened here, 2021. The most significant story of 2021 was the brake testing. You know, that actually was a kind of chaotic race based on safety and also how fast is the layout of the corners. You have some blinding corners there that drivers won't be able to see where they are going.
Yep.
So in terms of safety, it was actually a very big concern. As they have progressed throughout the year, they have changed the layout. They have, they have extended the runoff area. Okay, so to make it more safer for the drivers.
Right.
And touching on the brake testing. So what happened was Max and Hamilton was basically fighting for the championship. So Max had to let by Hamilton.
Right.
So when they coming at the back straight, there was a strategy going on because Max wanted the DRX on the next lap, the front straight of the circuit. So what happened was he slowed down. He wanted to give Hamilton the way, but Hamilton stuck behind him. And Hamilton was not informed by his team that
he wasn't informed.
He wasn't informed by his team that basically Max had to let him go.
Wow.
But unfortunately, he stuck behind him, and then he hit behind Max, and that was the incident. What we call this? He brake tested me. Actually, it was not. It's just a circumstance. You know, we don't know what they're thinking. You know, drivers' strategy calling, expertise. But that race was won by Hamilton. Again, 2021 was very nail-biting season. I loved it.
So Jeddah circuit is actually also designed by Herman Tilke.
Yeah.
So the same designer that designed Sepang.
Yes, our favorite designer.
Yes, the only approved designer for F1 circuits.
Yep. And moving towards 2022.
Yeah.
2022 was also a very close fight between Leclerc and Max Verstappen. You watch back the race, you will see how they play along. And this time around, they never touch. Because Max and Leclerc, they know how to race with each other. I think
these two boys actually have a very good understanding and actually respect, I would say, compared to some other drivers.
Yes. Maybe they say it's aggressive, but if you look back at the 2022 race, Max and Leclerc was on it, man, until the last race, not the last lap. You know, Max didn't won with a huge gap. He won just by a
nail biter.
tiny.
It's a nail biter race
finish. Yes,
right
so
to the end.
We want to show you the comparison between how you could do it better when you have the racecraft knowing each other throughout the career. Because they actually progressed in F1 as well in their racing career together. Right from go-karts. Yep, correct. So Jeddah is super fast. It's one of my favorite tracks because I love the flow of the layout. And then the first lap carnage, first 2 laps, we will have to be very alert. Moving on to last year, 2023. Perez won it. Yeah. He got pole position. Yes. Yeah, he was excited in 2023, saying that he would be able to compete with Max Verstappen for the World Championship. But as we know, as the seasons progress, Max didn't give him a chance. So talking about the Jeddah Grand Prix last year, Perez really controlled the race. He was actually overtaken by Alonso on the first few laps. He came back gradually, and basically he controlled the race throughout the whole 50 laps. And so he was leading the race the entire time. Correct. And then Max came by from behind to finish second as well. He was actually way behind. And Mercedes had some issues with strategy among Russell and Hamilton. So they faded away a bit. But the race was actually for second, third place. But actually 2023 was actually a Red Bull terrain basically, because they won almost all the races except one. Yeah, only the Singapore Grand Prix. Yes, Singapore Grand Prix only. Had they had more laps in Singapore Grand Prix, Max was coming actually. Yeah, that was coming. He was doing better in mediums. But time ran away. So there was not enough time. Yes, correct. So he was the winner and he was also the pole sitter. And basically the fastest lap as well, right? Correct. Yes. Yeah. So the race next will be scheduled at 1 a.m.
Malaysian time.
Yeah.
And
So
also
it's
the
also on
qualifying.
Saturday. So you guys don't have to worry.
Yes, same like Bahrain.
Same like Bahrain. So it's on Saturday night, I would say 1 a.m.
So what can we look forward to Jeddah? So are we looking at the same things that we're looking at Bahrain?
I think it will be a little bit similar, but if you look at the power, the horsepower, in terms of horsepower, I would say Ferrari is still ahead of other manufacturers. Maybe if indeed they are able to carry forward the performance from Bahrain to Jeddah, I would say Ferrari could be in cards to win again.
Because I'm looking, the Jeddah layout is slightly different than Bahrain.
It's fast flowing.
Yeah, it's fast flowing. So
it's a street circuit, but it's fast flowing.
So if it's a fast flowing circuit, which team do you think will have an advantage?
Aston Martin, my take, and also don't rule out McLaren. McLaren is coming rapidly. Apart from that, Mercedes is there. If you can see in the Bahrain, they were very close, and also Red Bull will be in the fight. But my money still will be on Ferrari.
Ferrari still, yeah. So it's still a Ferrari turf.
Yes, correct. Right, because take note, Leclerc was very close to Max in 2022.
Yeah, correct. So basically, we are thinking that Ferrari will still have a significant advantage here.
If you look back the car from 2022 to 2023, Ferrari's car, they have changed a lot. The concept and everything, 95% of the changes that has been done to the current car. But if you see the car, the base is the same.
Oh, the base is the same.
Base is the same. They didn't jump that much. They were quite conservative. They didn't jump that much as advanced as other teams did, because they know their car is good. They have the downforce, they have the power. Right. It's just that tire degradation. Yeah, they have to come over it.
Tire wear, I think, is a very, very important factor during a race, because that can drop your lap times and also increase your lap times.
Like what Hamilton said, he sacrificed his qualifying for Bahrain GP for race pace.
Yes.
Right? So it works that way. Sometimes you have to sacrifice for qualifying in order for you to do better in the race.
Yeah, because every driver, every team's got tire allocations.
Yeah,
so they must be very smart in choosing the tires, planning the tires,
correct,
using it wisely during qualifying and also during races.
And you have to take note about the safety car as well. This track will certainly have safety car and red flags.
I mean, 27 tons, there's a lot, right?
Yeah, and then it's all the way like that. You know, it's
can you imagine fast. In 27 tons, how many gear changes in one lap?
Oh my god, I can't count.
You can't count?
I can't count.
27 tons, right?
Oh my god.
And they have to cover 300 kilometers within 2 hours.
Yes, time limit, right? Time limit for the track.
And the lap record was held at 1:30.
1:30.
So by Lewis Hamilton.
Yes.
And do you expect the lap times to drop or increase this time?
I don't know whether they can beat the cars from 2021 because, of course, if you saw in Bahrain, they were actually 5 to 7 tenths improve their lap time from the previous year.
Yes.
So yes, there will be improvement, but I'm not sure whether they'll be able to beat that time in set by 2021 cars.
Wow. Okay. So moving on, I think part of Paddock Show is also not just about Formula One. So what else do we cover? We cover
MotoGP, we cover World Superbikes, we cover WEC, we will cover IndyCar, Super GT also, Super Formula. So it will come along. We will present to you guys. You will have more knowledge about other motorsport as well. So this time around, if you know, this weekend is MotoGP weekend. Opening race of the season, which is in Qatar. Right.
So you all tu yang suka ikut MotoGP tu, ikutlah kita kan, Paddock Show kan.
Yes.
Support lah kita orang juga kan.
Exactly. So we are into all type of motorsport. So MotoGP is also our favorite.
Tapi tahun ni tak ada rider Malaysia.
Tak ada.
Kita wildcard pun tak tahu lagi kan.
Wildcard tak tahu lagi. Dia akan announce lah. Hopefully ada lah.
Sepang ada kot.
Sepang hopefully ada 1-2 rider kan. Moto2 kot.
Ada lah kot. Hopefully lah insyaAllah kan ada kan.
Yes.
So how was the Sepang Test?
Sepang Test, they brought so many different spec, different aero package. Going from Ducati is always advancing in aero package. They also have the winglets at the bottom of their body shape. Going underneath from the coolant to the back is actually very complicated if you look at how the bikes are developing very intensively.
I think
copying.
Kalau kita take note, MotoGP dah ada a bit of a transition from Yamaha and Honda dominance to Ducati dominance.
Yeah.
right now.
Currently, yes. I would not say it's bad because okay, take note, Honda and Yamaha have dominated for quite some time.
Yeah, lama.
They are very good players, and I'm sure they'll be back. It's just a matter of time. I'm looking forward for 2027 regulation changes where they propose less aerodynamic, less engine power, and let's see
So
how.
when was the Sepang Test?
6 to 8 February, I was there basically. I saw.
So the grandstand.
I was at grandstand, just in front of the Honda.
Budak ni kalau tak pergi Sepang sajalah kan. Kalau
Mesti
ada aktiviti, kalau ada event mesti pergi Sepang.
Mesti aku ada. Aku cari je benda aku mau pergi.
Big man ni kalau tak ada kat Sepang sajalah kan.
Mesti ada.
So
mesti ada.
Sepang Test ada.
Sepang
MotoGP event pun mesti ada.
Super GT je tak dapat masuk.
So Sepang Test macam mana? Okay.
But it was good. I get to see the new bikes, all the new bikes with different configuration. Diorang bukannya bawa satu motor je. Diorang
Tapi
bawa
diorang tadi decal tak ada kan?
decal tak ada sebab they use the different aero package. So senang untuk diorang nak tukar-tukar. And then basically masa tu diorang tak announce lagi diorang punya livery.
So usually bike kalau dekat test tu dia selalu hitam. Dia selalu carbon fiber.
All bare carbon. But
bare
I like bare carbon. It looks good, you know. But of course, you know, the sponsors won't like it. They like it more colorful. So moving on to the test, what I feel, Ducatis will still dominate this year. They are the pioneer of aerodynamics. So any glitches will be basically rider fault, maybe because you those Ducatis are basically monsters, you know. But everybody could handle them. What I mean by everybody can handle them, if you look at all the drivers from Pecco to Zacco, they are all capable to win races. So that is the advantage of Ducati, that they made a bike that can suit other riders as well. But this is something that started from the beginning of 20, if I'm not wrong, 2012, 2013.
So this is my question to Big Man. Why is Ducati dominating MotoGP?
Their aero package basically so good, and
aero is very good.
Yeah, aero is very good, and then how their back down, the behind, the down was the grip going out of the corners.
Because the last time Ducati dominated was during Casey's
Okay, so 2007.
After that, it was just a downtrend.
Downtrend, yeah. Basically, at that point of time, they were still more to rider control basis.
The bike was so stiff and not agile.
Back then, because they were also quite manual. It is not like these days that you have traction control, and then the electronics are able to help you out. So if you want to know why there's a difference to the current grid and the previous grid, it's all because of the advancement of the electronics, tires, and also the aerodynamic. Less control of riders, more control of the bike.
Yeah. So actually, because Ducati, the factory is actually located in Bologna in Italy. So I actually had the privilege to go to the factory.
Wow.
In 2014. Before I went to Maranello.
Ferrari.
So actually kan you tengok dekat factory Bologna tu kan, all the Ducati world champions, their actual bike and the rider itself is painted on the factory building. So later I'll put a picture and you guys can see.
Right. So moving on to the next team, that would be, we would rank based on our observation during the testing. Of course, Ducati have 8 bikes, so
only 2 is factory bike, the rest is satellite.
Yeah, 2 teams are factory, 2 teams are satellite. So the next team I would reckon that would give Ducati run for their money is KTM. Watch out for Brad Binder.
KTM used to be very dominant in Moto3.
Moto3 and correct. Moto3, yes.
Moto3, and then Aprilia used to be very dominant in Moto2.
250 we call it back
250 back then. But now KTM is already in MotoGP.
Yes, correct. They actually progressing quite well. They are helped by Red Bull Formula 1 team aerodynamicists to basically develop their bike based on aerodynamic, and they are coming gradually chasing Ducatis. I hope they give fight for Ducati this year. Both Jack Miller and Brad Binder are very positive of what has they come up with the testing. Again, in maybe testing they don't show much like Formula 1. They are also hiding down some things that
also sandbagging.
Yeah. So that's the second team that I would emphasize on, giving challenge to Ducati. Another point to highlight, I would say the move from Marquez to from Honda to Ducati.
Oh, that's also a big move.
Big news, yes, and very
Why did he move?
Yeah, and then a very emotional move,
Emotional move.
Yes. So after being with Honda 11 years,
Yeah, Repsol Honda.
He
It's a
switched.
factory back bike,
yeah, he switched to Ducati satellite team. Why that happened? I would say we have to go back to 2022 during the pandemic time, where the first race of the season was in Jerez. So Marquez, during the first race of that season, he made a mistake. He ran wide and then he was behind. He came back all the way through to third place, knowing that the capability of the bike and himself, he could have won the race. He pushed even harder. He pushed. He wanted to overtake the second place rider, but he flew. That's it. Super limit on the bike. So that basically, hurt his arm and
injury is a big. I think injury is a big factor in MotoGP.
Yeah,
because overall, I think all MotoGP riders have been injured before.
Yeah, it's very physical. So what happened was the next race he wanted to come back.
Yeah,
and I would say it's both ways. It goes both ways. Marquez and I would blame Honda's management as well. Both are to be blamed in this scenario because they should not have let him race. It was very fresh. The accident was very fresh, and then they went again, and then he felt something wrong. So that aggravated the injury furthermore. So 2020 was gone, 2021 was gone, 2023 was gone. Basically, you are just recuperating and
just recovering. Because two-wheelers and four-wheelers is different.
And take note, Honda did not claw back his salary.
Oh, okay, that's something.
While being on rest, Honda did not claw back his salary, despite Marquez saying that you can take back what you have paid. So the blame goes 50-50. Why Honda's bike was not developed enough? Because Honda concentrated on Marquez.
Right.
Marquez know how to ride his bike, his style. So that break in chain of that season didn't allow the bike to develop well, and the other riders was basically not capable of doing that.
I see.
So Marquez, you are at fault as well. Honda, I blame you for not giving other riders the chance to develop the bike.
See, Honda, I think, will do well on circuits that have got lots of straights because their top speed is quite good.
Yes and no. Yes and no. Sometimes yes, it tends to be basically based on a setup. But the most powerful engine at the moment, I would say, is still Ducati. Ducati is the most powerful engine.
That means they've already overshot Honda because back then Honda was quite strong.
Yeah,
Mick Doohan. Mick Doohan won 5 championships.
But you need to take note. 20 years ago, when Alex Crivell was in Jerez on the race bike, the time that Alex Crivell set was actually similar to now what Moto3 bikes are setting.
Okay.
So 500cc.
Yeah, back then was 500cc. Then after that,
so you see
the
advancement.
1000.
Now it's 1000. Yes. So you can see the advancement from there that Moto3 bike can be faster or as fast as 500cc bikes. The advancement of the tires, the bikes, and everything else, the component that you use, the material that you use in the bike, everything changes throughout the season.
I think MotoGP is also a series that is a prototype. So different.
You cannot buy that bike.
You can't buy the bike. It's basically a Formula One of two-wheelers.
Yes, but actually some made it through production.
Okay. How did we do in Qatar? So did you see something similar in Qatar compared to Sepang? Or something surprised you?
No, this is the same pecking order. I would say Ducati goes first, then I would place KTM, and then I will talk about Aprilia now. Aprilia made a lot of changes through the behind, the tail of the bike, with more of a Formula One look. You can see there was a diffuser behind, and then some Batmobile style aero package going on through the side of the bike, and then behind. So Aprilia, actually, they have a problem with the temperatures, cooling. They are very bad in hot circuits.
Right.
So that is something that they need to take note of. Aleix Espargaro and Vinales, they are both fantastic riders. If you can see later part of the season last year, they were actually fighting.
So Aprilia is a factory team.
Yes, Aprilia.
So did they have any satellite teams?
Yes, they have. They basically, it was RNF before this.
RNF, yes.
Yeah. Now they call Trackhouse Racing.
Yes.
This Trackhouse Racing team is from US. Basically, they run NASCAR team in America.
So it's an American-based team.
Yes, American-based team. So Trackhouse will take over from RNF, and then their riders will remain, which is Miguel Oliveira and
Oliveira, yeah.
Raul Fernandez, if I'm not
Wow.
wrong.
Oliveira is very senior too.
Yeah, he won races.
Yeah, he won races
He won
before.
races. So
Where is Jack Miller?
Jack Miller is in KTM.
KTM. Interesting to see where he is, the Austrian rider.
For me, he's fast,
Mm.
but he tends to crash a lot and he tends to overcook his tires.
And he's the idol of who?
Irene.
Our
Irene.
little rider
Little
from
rider.
Pocket GP.
Yes.
Mini GP.
Yes, Irene. Your favorite rider.
Yes, your favorite rider. You still remember?
Correct. And so, moving on to, sticking on to Aprilia.
Yeah.
As I said, they actually promised factory bike for Trackhouse as well. So four factory bikes will be running this year under Aprilia.
4 factory bikes.
Yes.
Wow.
Unfortunately, we have lost Suzuki.
Yeah.
They are not in MotoGP anymore.
Kawasaki?
Kawasaki no more as well.
Yeah.
Next, I would say is we have Honda.
An interesting note, yeah. We used to have a MotoGP rider.
Havisharin, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, in Tech 3 Yamaha.
Yes.
Back in, and he did very well in Sepang 2018, where he finished 10, top 10.
And
Very proud moment.
Petronas still in MotoGP?
No more.
No more.
No more. Petronas switched to World Superbike.
Yeah. So they used to sponsor Yamaha.
Yamaha, yes.
Yes.
Correct. Which
when Rossi was
rode
there,
there.
when Quartararo was there.
Yes, correct. And they were quite competitive back then.
And that bike was actually managed by Dato' Razlan,
Yes, Petronas team.
our Sepang CEO.
Correct.
So well done, you guys.
That was good moments. You know, 2020 to 2021. I love seeing that Petronas
they were
colors.
quite good, huh?
You know, fighting for wins and podiums.
That was really, really, really.
At one point, I thought Quartararo will take Marquez for the race win, but
it was Quartararo and Morbidelli.
Morbidelli, yes.
And then after that, Rossi came in with a condition.
Yeah, for factory bike.
He wanted a factory bike.
Yes.
Rossi wanted a factory bike from Petronas or no deal.
No deal. Deal or no deal.
So when you speak to a champion, you need to get your cards ready.
So far we have covered Ducati, we have covered Aprilia, we have covered KTM. KTM, take note, KTM we have another team as well, which is called Gas Tech 3. Okay, they have the new sensation for this season, Pedro Costa. So Pedro Costa will basically, with the testing times that he done and the long run pace that he has, he's actually something to fear about. He might gonna score some wins this season.
Really?
Pedro Costa.
Oh, so
he's a reigning world champion from Moto2.
Oh, reigning world champion.
Yes, correct.
So actually, in MotoGP is a progression. So you come into Moto3, then you go to Moto2, then
Correct.
go to MotoGP.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
So if you can do jump, but you must be very high
You must be
like
very
like
skillful.
how Nicky Hayden did
Nicky
from
Hayden,
AMS Superbikes.
Yes.
He jumped to MotoGP.
He was in Repsol Honda.
Yeah, correct.
Ducati,
Repsol Honda, then he went to Ducati, then came back to Honda.
number 69.
69, yes.
So lots of love for Nicky Hayden.
Nicky Hayden, yes, we still
nice rider, very wholehearted,
very
rider,
consistent,
very friendly too in Sepang.
Yeah, correct. So now we will talk about Honda. Honda is basically going on a different trajectory, always going down for the past few years. Again, we have already covered that.
And you listening to these guys speaking very badly about Honda.
Yeah, actually, I shouldn't, you know.
He's wearing HRC today. Honda Racing Company.
Basically, I shouldn't, but that's how it is.
Yes.
So, talking about Honda have done a lot of changes with their bike. It is rumored to be 8 kilos lighter than last year. Yeah.
Wow.
And their bike is different, totally different from what they had previously. When Aero package was dominating the season of MotoGP, Honda was just doing plug and play of the wings.
Plug and play
of the wings, and you know how would you gain performance when you do a plug and play? I think that is actually not able to do so. So what they have done for this year is the bike itself is integrated with Aero. So it has performed much better. If you can see the timings from Sepang Test, they have improved 1.1 seconds from the previous year.
1.1 is a big
1.1,
gap.
yeah. Although they're still behind, like 8 tenths to 7 tenths behind Ducati.
But recovering 1.1 is a lot.
Yeah, and they've managed to recover that from the previous years. They will, of course, it's a uphill task for them to reach where they should be, where they belong. So hopefully they'll give a fight, maybe mid-season or end of the season, to really be fighting for the championship, race wins.
MotoGP, when it's a dry race, they use the same bike. But when it is a wet track, what happens?
They will have to change the tires, of course. That is first thing first, and
But
then
they jump
of course,
on another bike, right?
yeah, another bike, and then I think the ride height would be much higher compared to the bike that they use.
How many tire
for
manufacturers in MotoGP?
Only one.
Only one.
Only one.
They used to be a couple.
Yeah, they had Bridgestone before. They had
Michelin.
Michelin together
Dunlop.
running. Dunlop, but they moved out. They only stick to one single manufacturer, like how Formula One is doing. So there's no way riders can complain that your tire is better than mine, and you are cheating and this and that. So they stopped those rumors. Basically, what happened those days when people were saying that Rossi's bikes given better tires compared to the rest of the grid. So to avoid that,
the doctor always has something to say.
Something to say.
But you know what I like about Rossi? Since he entered 125cc, he has never missed a race. Even though he was in MotoGP, every time there was a 125 race, every time there was a 250 race,
He will observe, right?
he will always be at the pit wall,
Correct.
watching on
Yes, you're right.
the junior riders.
Yes, junior.
And
Because
picking them up and
he-
training them.
he is a boss of the VR46 Academy. So of course, he will need to observe. He will need to take note what are the riders doing and how are they progressing. And also sometimes they look at the stats. How good are they doing the stats?
And until today, you can still see VR46 merchandise being sold.
Yes, surprisingly, when I went last year, MotoGP, people are still buying VR46. It's a brand now.
It's a brand, yeah.
It's not just a
iconic
rider.
brand.
It's
And
just not a rider.
you see the fans, even though Rossi's not there, they're still wearing 46 jerseys.
Correct.
They're still waving the flags.
Yep,
they're
indeed.
still wearing the caps.
I'm a Rossi fan. I mean, how about you?
Yes.
I'm
also
still a Rossi fan.
a Doctor's fan.
Because that is where all started, with the Nastro Azzurro Honda, then Repsol Honda, then Galoisis Yamaha, then Camel Honda, then Fiat Yamaha. Camel Yamaha.
The only downfall of him was Ducati. Ducati
You
just
see, at that
just
point of
didn't.
time, my point is less aerodynamic, more rider input. What happens? You're not able to perform well. I'm not saying it is bad aerodynamic wise, because Europeans are much more clever or much more aggressive in developing aero packages compared to Asian manufacturers like Honda and Yamaha. So I don't blame them. They are allowed to.
This is what I was watching documentary on Rossi back then. He said he wanted to take a gamble because no MotoGP rider actually won with 3 manufacturers.
Yes, championship, right?
Yeah,
championship wise,
wise.
yes.
So he took a gamble and it didn't pay off.
It didn't pay off.
It paid off only when Casey Stoner took it.
Casey Stoner took it, yes. But you have to also know that when Casey Stoner took it from the Nicky Hayden in 2011 and 2012, that bike is well developed by Pedrosa. Pedrosa is a super good rider in developing a bike, and he liked loose bike, no control of the rider more than the bike. So when he was doing the test for Honda and developing the bike, you have to realize that how much input Pedrosa has contributed into Honda's success. You have to know that aero packages is hurting the current MotoGP season in point of our fans. Some of fans, they don't like aero packages. They want rider control more. Even Marquez said that recently, that he don't like.
What's the new technologies for this season?
I don't say it's a new technology.
Is there any new technologies being introduced?
No, it's just that the ride height device that is already on it since 2019 or 2020, if I'm not wrong. Ducati introduced it. Other than that, what do we have? No, nothing much. It's just
no different. Actually, MotoGP is more hands-on rather than Formula One.
Yeah, correct.
So these guys, this is what you guys have to take note. So moving on, I think from Qatar, we're going to go to the Qatar race, right?
Yes.
This weekend.
This weekend is Qatar race.
Qatar race. Who won last year?
Fabio Di Gianantonio won it last year from Ducati Gresini, which Marquez took over. Fabio is a very good rider. If you see the later part of the season, he got used to the bike and he won the race basically. What I'm trying to portray here is, you look at Ducati, even their satellite bike are able to win.
Satellite bikes are also very fast.
Yes, their satellite bikes are very fast. But this year is more development on the GP24 compared to 23.
Yeah.
So maybe the GP24 and 23, the difference will be a lot.
So satellite and factory, are they using the same bikes?
No.
So
No.
different. One
Different.
season down.
Yes, one season down.
Mm,
So
one season.
what Gresini and also Pertamina VR46 team will be using is GP23.
Yes.
And the factory bikes will belongs to Ducati factory and also Pramac.
So who do you see winning Qatar GP?
Qatar GP, I would go with Marquez.
Marquez.
Yeah, he will spring a
I
surprise.
think Marquez will win.
Marquez will.
I think Pecco is to be up
He
there.
will be there, but that GP23 he's won. I mean, that bike won last year there. But of course, there's some advances in GP24. But my prediction would be Marquez winning the race for Qatar.
Right.
Gresini team, if you take note, they have won the races there
Yeah.
before. Enea Bastianini won there,
Yes.
and also Fabio won there last
Fabio
year.
Quartararo,
So 2 years in a row they did it. So Marquez is your chance now.
Yes, it's his chance to actually rise.
Yeah.
To the
Come back to
occasion.
your winning ways like how you liked it.
Yeah, he was very consistent back in Honda back then.
If you look at 2019 season, he was first or second
All
throughout
the time.
the year.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Just like who's that? Who was that Yamaha rider? Lorenzo?
Jorge Lorenzo,
Yes.
yeah.
Where is he now?
He's no more. He's resigned. Basically, he's a legend now.
The
MotoGP legend.
Mm.
No longer in
Lorenzo
MotoGP.
was also
Yes.
very good. Actually, in MotoGP, what I like is every rider has got a different style of riding.
Yes, very smooth,
Can you
very
explain to
aggressive.
our fans
If
how it is?
if some of the riders they like it front end, more feeling at the front end, like braking, braking hard and gaining the time. So some of the criteria are basically good braking, lots of positive pickup from the chicane or apex. They like to pick the bike up faster. So if the bike is heavy and the bike is if you don't have the grip behind, then you will not be able to get the ideal time that you want. And some riders, despite you seeing them not being aggressive and going all the elbows down, they are still faster because why? They know how to save the tires. Saving tires for qualifying and also some of the races that you see, the choosing of the correct compound is very important. So if you look at Lorenzo's back then, he would be very. You will see like, why is he slow? Why is he not overtaking? Why is he not going past him now when he already have the pace? But he was saving tire. So when you are smooth rider, you will be able to use the left out advantage that you have during the later part of the race, like 7 laps to go, 5 laps to go, you go all out. Like Rossi and Marquez, they like last minute battles,
Yes. So basically, MotoGP will be segmented into groupings during races: Group 1, Group 2, Group 3.
That is for Moto2, Moto3 and also MotoGP.
Yeah,
right?
usually during a race,
Yeah, during the race, it won't be go at one go. They will have their own timing and own laps for them to basically finish the race.
So you're talking about former bikers, right? And races. Who's your favorite Malaysian rider in MotoGP? Moto3, Moto2, MotoGP.
My favorite, I would say, Charles Yuzi. Despite him not winning races or not being on the podium, he was actually one of my favorite riders those days when I was watching in TV. That basically, made me proud, saying that Petronas Malaysia is there. So in MotoGP as well. So it's sentimental. Okay. So that's why I love Charles Yuzi.
Question for the viewers: whoever can name me all the Malaysian riders who have ever entered MotoGP wins a prize.
Okay.
Put it down in a comment.
Yeah. Whoever can guess it right. Every MotoGP rider.
Malaysian.
Be it Moto2, Moto3,
doesn't matter
or
which
MotoGP.
class.
You name it, we give you.
Yes, we'll give you a prize. Okay, you have to name everyone without missing a rider.
Correct.
Okay.
So we go now to Yamaha.
Yes, Yamaha.
Okay. Yamaha, they switched the rider for the second. As you know, Morbidelli is now in Pramac, and Alex Rins from LCR Honda jumped to Yamaha. Alex Rins was very vocal. He didn't like the bike at all, despite him winning in Texas with the Castrol Honda LCR team. He did not like the bike at all. He crashed a lot. He was hospitalized frequently due to injuries. then he did his choice for not competing with Honda for this year, despite having contract for this year.
Actually, Yamaha is a very agile bike.
Nimble.
There's a lot of riders who like the very nimble bike. They like the riding style.
Yes, but
the agility.
From my observation from the test, in Yamaha's engine has developed furthermore. They have one of the best engine at the moment, best performing engine behind Ducati, I would say. Because why? The Ducati's engineer is in Yamaha now.
Pinching. This is why.
Ducati's engineer is in Yamaha.
So it doesn't just happen in Formula One like Adrian Newey. There's also an Adrian Newey in MotoGP.
Yes. So what happened was they needed a culture change. Same goes to Honda and also Yamaha. They needed a culture change to how can they fight with these European manufacturers. So they have to open it up. They have to take engineers from European manufacturers. Get along and then develop the bike from what they already have. If you can see, Yamaha it is less visually aero package bike, but there is something that they've done with their tail. You can see some holes and stuff like that. So we don't know what's inside that.
In MotoGP right now, at the tail of the bike, there's now a camera.
It was introduced quite something like a few years back. It's very, very nice when you see how they lean and then they go out of the corner when crashing. It's very scary. 300 kilometers an hour.
Bike top speed and a Formula One bike top speed is the same.
Almost the same. Yes.
It's about 300 over case.
330, 340.
It's crazy. Imagine if you're on a 4-wheel and you're on a 2-wheel. And you imagine the amount of safety devices that a rider wears.
Yeah, the development from the racing suits is enormous from what they have done before this. Now they have airbags inside.
Yes, they have
the moment
airbags.
You crash, it will deploy.
Yes, it will deploy. It's amazing. The development of safety for riders has also improved.
Yep,
so
correct.
Very good now. So thank you to FIM and also Dorna.
Yeah, to make it more comfortable riding.
Yes, because I think now FIM also stipulates that circuits must have enough gravel, enough track limits.
Correct, for them to halt the rider from.
Because when they slide, it is very dangerous. And this reminds me of someone who passed away in Sepang.
That was Simoncelli.
Yes,
in 2012.
Yes, that was disastrous.
Yeah.
So if you guys have the time, watch on YouTube the accident.
Yeah.
It's actually a very big eye opener.
He was a good rider.
He was very good.
Bound to Repsol.
He is actually well respected by all the riders.
Actually,
in
no.
MotoGP. Yeah.
He was very feisty.
Actually, Rossi was okay.
He's under his academy.
Yes.
Yeah, he was under his academy. But if you look back the races, if you respect is that. But he was very feisty, very aggressive. The way he wants to.
There was one MotoGP race in Sepang that they actually went and acknowledged him. I forgot which year. That they went to that corner that he passed away, and they actually.
I think.
Had a tribute there.
Correct. But they do now every year regularly to basically pay homage to him. He was one of the rising stars of MotoGP.
Because when an accident in MotoGP or Moto3 or Moto2 happens, the rider can just collide on top of each other.
Correct.
And the bike can actually flip.
That happened to Pecco last year in Barcelona. He almost got run over by another bike, but he was very lucky.
Yeah, so that's also very, very crucial that safety is of the paramount
in
MotoGP. Yeah.
I mean, in all motorsport, safety is first. So you don't go do a drag race in Kampong Jalan and then you say it's an official race.
So I think before we move on, what are you hoping for MotoGP 2024?
I would say more fight like last year. MotoGP is always, very competitive. The riders on it, most of the circuits that they go, usually now it's like segmentized. Ducati GP, Asian manufacturer GP, and European GP. So I would want to see a mixture.
You want a fairer playing field.
Yeah, a fairer playing field, a mixture of riders. Doesn't matter it is from KTM or doesn't matter Aprilia, Ducati. Fight for the win. It's sad that to see that you are able to develop 8 bikes running on ground. You gather so much of data throughout the race for Ducati. From different riders, from all the riders which are very competitive. So they have plenty of information for them to relay on the bike.
Yeah.
To develop the bike furthermore. Like unlike Honda or Yamaha or Aprilia, which have lesser bikes on the grid.
So talking about MotoGP, we'll touch on Sepang. I think Sepang International Circuit did early bird promotion of 20%.
Yes, go and get it, guys.
You guys yang belum beli tiket untuk kita punya Sepang race ni, pergilah beli cepat.
Yes, it's
kan?
still
Sekarang
ongoing.
tengah rawat kan, so pergilah beli cepat-cepat.
Better. Don't wait for last minute.
Tak payah tunggu last minute, nanti kan tiket habis lagi.
Sold off or it will be hard for you to get.
Itu dia. So basically Sepang well done. I think you all kalau bab MotoGP ni, you all very good.
Different level.
Different level. Kalau compare dengan Formula 1, you all kalau MotoGP memang all out. Kan?
Yes.
Itu kita tak nafi lah. Kan?
Yep, I agree.
20% early bird. Kadang sebelum race habis dekat Sepang pun poster next year dah keluar.
Yes. That's how it should be, you know.
F1 punya marketing campaign pun mesti macam tu juga. Kan?
If they bring back.
Tapi ada ura-ura.
If they don't bring back, we still have dark horse.
You still have dark horse. Tak apa, kita ada tempat nak tengok juga.
And my home also I can watch.
Kita kata kat rumah pun boleh tengok kan.
But it's just that you don't have the feel. You know, like those days.
But tengok TV dengan pergi actual race tu lain tau. Rasa dia punya environment, dia punya mood tu lain tau.
It's really different.
My first race kan, kalau tengok MotoGP is actually Batu 3 1992. Masa tu Wayne Rainey dengan Kevin Swans.
Wow. Suzuki, right?
So masa tu I was very small boy and my father actually took me to the track because kita duduk dekat Shah Alam dulu. The track was fantastic. Sampai sekarang I tengok lagi ada TMB box tulis tu Batu 3 racing track.
I never been there. But I have heard a lot of it. And I hope they do something similar for encouraging more touring car races, you know, small classic car races. You know, actually you can promote by doing this. You know, we in Malaysia, we have so many classic car owners, clubs, and also touring car owners, sedan saloons. Why don't you encourage them, you know, like setting up a team or setting up a small time attack or gathering in Sepang circuit? That would be very beneficial. People can come, watch something that they are able to.
Yang banyak interaction dengan circuit is actually yang the lower
from the lower
point.
Yes. So when you have the groundwork done, it will be easy for you to penetrate to the next level.
Because macam Ayub told us kan masa Pocket GP kan, is basically kalau you tak ada foundation of motorsport and entry level, susah you nak penetrate to international level.
Yes, you must have the foundation.
And then companies yang nak buat CSR ke, you should sponsor. You should sponsor.
Another thing I want to highlight, don't get offended. Malaysian football. Who are our soccer players?
Foreigners,
right? And how about our MotoGP riders? We have our local MotoGP riders.
And diorang tak dapat exposure.
Why is that you guys concentrate more on football, which doesn't yield you that much, instead of, you know, concentrating on motorcycle racing, motorsport racing? You have talent there. You have people there. Our engineers are working with Petronas Formula 1 team. Our engineers are in Europe.
Tahun ni dia hantar Petronas engineer kita kan pergi.
So I don't understand why are you guys not concentrating on motorsport, you know, by allowing younger generation to have more exposure by developing their career there. Instead, football is good, I know, and it's very huge, it's global. But you have to know that it's not our local players that is fighting there or playing there in the field. It's our foreign people. They are even Malaysians, if I'm not wrong. Okay?
Yeah, betul.
If I'm wrong, just sorry.
No, very simple. Tak payah pergi jauh. JDT. JDT, 90% is foreigners.
So we acknowledge that you guys love football, but the problem is you have to see the bigger angle. We have our younger generation into motorsport. If you look at our previous episode, you know, these young people likes bikes, like motorsports. So if you don't give chance
support system,
when from one level to another level, it's so difficult to move up. When you football, you spend so much of money there, but you are still not going anywhere. Despite you having local or foreigner, you are still there. That is my point of view.
Betul, sama. I agree dengan Big Man.
So if you give some support to our people, motorsport wise, it will be great.
I think the important thing is you kena balance lah.
Balance it.
Kena channel the
you know, you have people
of funding you every year kepada industri sukan yang betul lah. Sukan motor banyak ni, sukan bola sepak banyak ni. Sama ratakan.
Yeah, until now, when I was watching football with my father, until now, I did not see any significant improvement. You know, it's a true fact that you guys should know that if you are not able to concentrate here or developing a winning team, why don't you go to MotoGP or Formula One, which you already have the foundation
Actually, kita banyak
develop.
fanbase pun. MotoGP paling banyak fanbase.
Yeah.
Tengok, Sepang alone 3 hari tu is 70,000.
It's all full pack.
Spectator 70,000.
It's all full pack. The circuit is full pack. Give Motorsport a chance, please. I hope anybody.
Thai fans datang, Indonesian fans datang, VR Club Malaysia datang. You know, Honda, you know, dia buka
all big booths.
Masa MotoGP yang kita pergi kan last year. Kiri
and
kanan
it's affordable. It's affordable merchandise, affordable food.
And then what dia punya merchandise it's not as expensive as F1. It's actually cheaper than F1.
Cheaper than F1. So what my point of view is saying is that go on, give these young people more chance, like Pocket GP. You know, they need fundings, they need sponsorship. Why don't you channel a bit of attention there so that we would have better future in terms of motorsport? We actually have so many riders there already. It's just that we are not giving.
You bayangkan kalau kata kita boleh dapat sponsorship, kita dapat dedahan tu kan, dapat the exposure for kita punya talented riders. You imagine berapa pack Sepang is going to be?
It will be packed. Even dengan satu rider je dapat penuh. It's all full.
Imagine masa Zulfami dapat second place dekat Sepang, berapa pack
even now last year this previous years it's always packed because we have wildcard riders. So why don't you have a proper race team like how Datu Razlan did? Nurture it, keep it. You know, is something you need to treasure. When it comes to history, you will say yes, Malaysia is part of their motorsport team.
I think Datu Razlan, hats off to you.
Yes, for bringing motorsport to locals.
Actually, bringing MotoGP to another level, bringing Malaysia to another level. He did an excellent job. So well done to you.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So that is part of
proud.
Small concern
they were
that
a very
we have.
small outfit, you know. When they won a couple of races, when they won a couple of podiums, they were a very small outfit.
Imagine Malaysian team winning MotoGP race. You see, we have the capability.
We have the capabilities, tapi it's either we want to do it or
we don't want to do it. Yeah, it's either way.
So
sad, you know.
You have to look into this.
Yes, correct.
Okay, so I think moving on to our favorite thing to do every episode is our question and answers.
Yes. Do we get some?
Yeah, well, actually we did. So thank you guys who actually helped us with this. Okay,
right.
So our first question is from Eugene Tong. Okay?
Eugene, hi Eugene.
Hi. So he asked us to actually rank the Formula One teams.
Okay.
From 1st to 10.
All right. This is for the race or the full season?
For the whole season.
For the whole season.
For the whole season. So
he wants to know our prediction.
Our prediction.
Now itself.
Yes.
Okay, I can give. My prediction.
I think first one I tahu lah Bima cakap apa kan.
No, I'm actually confused.
Takkan confused.
No, I confused. I confused between Red Bull dengan Ferrari. You know, you never know because Leclerc
gamble
every year.
It depends on the weather, depends on the tires, the setup also.
Because Bahrain, we won't know the clear picture.
Jeddah pun tak, we won't know sampai
European season. Yes, when we got to that, then it will be a bit stable. So my prediction.
Number one,
I'll go for Red Bull.
Number 2,
Ferrari.
3.
Okay, 3 would be Mercedes.
Why Mercedes?
They have already moved on from the zero side pod concept, and basically, actually, when you look back, their race pace was not bad with the zero podcast. So you can see the development is there. What Red Bull have adopted from them, God knows whether it will work or not throughout the season. We don't know. So going back to the basics is fundamental for Mercedes to come back stronger again. So I would say that their pace was only 2 tenths away or 1 tenth away during the long run.
George did a very good thing in qualifying on Bahrain.
Yeah.
So you can see the pace there. The pace
is there. They are like in a long run pace 1 tenth, 2 tenths behind the leaders. Number 4, I would go with McLaren.
4 McLaren.
Yeah. 5 Aston Martin. 6 would be Visa Cash App RB.
Oh yes, I think Visa Cash App pulled a surprise in Bahrain.
Yes.
And then 7?
And the super surprise was Haas.
Yeah.
Haas will take a step ahead. This maybe for the first few races they will score points.
Yeah.
That is my prediction. Maybe they score points in the first few races.
8
I would go for what do you call this? Williams,
Williams.
Albon and Sargent.
9?
9, unfortunately, Alpine because they are heavy in terms of the car. They are underpowered, and the grip is not there. The aerodynamic philosophy is not working. It's not working.
Last? Number 10.
It's Alpine.
Alpine.
Yeah.
Alpine, so Alpine's last for.
That is my prediction, Eugene.
From our
So,
prediction, yeah.
so feel free to look back later,
Yeah.
see whether
So compare the first race to the last race and see whether our prediction
this is
correct.
team wise. Yeah, drivers championship. I
This
will
is
not
for-
touch yet.
Yes.
I will not
This is not
touch.
drivers, this is the team.
Just the team constructors championship.
And we also have another question from Formula Fernando.
Hi, Formula Fernando.
Yes.
Thanks for the question.
Thank you very much for the question. So the question is whether PS3 will win a race in 2024 season.
I would say yes, because why? He have the pace. If you look back last year, he won a sprint race.
Oh, he won a sprint race.
He won a sprint race last year. So there is a
PS3, I think, is still young, and I think he's still got a lot of talent.
Yep, indeed. He's I would say one of the best out of Formula 2 championship.
So actually, there's a lot of young drivers who are actually very, very talented. Given the right machinery, right timing, right setup, right race, they can excel.
Why I say like that? Because he managed to pull the gap between himself and Norris to be on par last year. If you look at the second half of the season, he was very consistent, beating at times.
They are not very far. The two McLaren boys.
They are not very far.
They are
So
quite
they are
close.
coming close to Mercedes, Ferrari, and Red Bull. So PS3 has all the chance, plenty of chance this year, because we have 23 races remaining to cover up, and then you never know, somebody screw up something and McLaren is behind and they win the race.
So I think PS3 would actually win a race. I am also quite confident.
Yeah,
I'm
so
sure,
for Formula Fernando,
looking for him, looking from where he came.
based on your name, I would have thought that you would say, will Fernando win a race?
But I think you never
Even
know.
he has a
Aston
chance,
might win. You never know.
He has
At the very least, I think at least 1 or 2 podiums this season.
Yes, correct.
Without a doubt,
Yep,
because
correct.
he did very
Alonso
well in Bahrain.
is solid driver.
Yeah. So last question is actually again from Eugene.
Eugene, wow.
This is an interesting question.
Yes, what is it? What is the question about?
What is a tractor called in French? You
I
guys
only-
know?
I know.
Yeah.
You know?
I think
Tractor. Tractor. No. That's not it.
we actually tried to Google Translate.
Yeah,
So we
it
put
didn't
in
work. Eugene, it didn't work.
English to
My
French.
pronunciation doesn't work.
Tractor.
So from what we know and what we were told about, tractor in French means Alpine. So Alpine team, take note. We don't want people to look down on you.
Yes.
Please be competitive. Come back stronger.
You
in the
guys,
next few
are
races.
powered by Renault.
You were champions before.
Yeah, you guys were champions before. I mean, Alonso did it with you guys.
So
Right.
I would not pull a plug on you guys.
So Alpine, you need to back up, right?
Yeah, don't be tractor.
So I think we have to go soon. So I think in summary, we'd like to also inform you guys that we'll be covering Pocket GP Workshop.
Yep, coming soon.
When will that be?
9th March.
9 March.
Yeah, this coming weekend.
Yeah.
9 March.
And that's in KL, not in Sepang.
Yeah, we will cover what they do behind the scene, how the bikes are prepared and stuff like that.
Yes. So we'll be interviewing some instructors, also the president himself again, I think.
Yeah.
To see.
We will welcome Ayub again.
Yes. And then he's also planning for some races
Yes, coming
this
soon.
year.
And I hope we can bring in more sponsors
Yeah,
to
I think
help.
You guys who are
Pocket
watching
GP.
us, if you are ever interested, even in-kind sponsorship or financial sponsorship or anything,
Yeah, welcome.
speak to us.
Yes, correct.
We're more than happy to help you guys.
Yep.
Because I think I always believe in this slogan from the pandemic. It's kita jaga kita.
Yes.
I'd rather have local sponsors than have international sponsors.
Yep.
Because I'd rather give endorsement to local companies than international
Yeah,
companies.
Malaysia needs a good foundation in terms of motorsport.
That's what I was thinking, we had 3 Formula 1 teams from Malaysia in one season. Was it 2011, 2012?
Lotus,
Caterham, Lotus, and one more, Petronas. So 3. Imagine if all the companies binded together, we could have actually promoted maybe
If you want to
Nabil
do, you can
Jeffrey
do.
or Jasman Jaafar in.
I would reiterate what you say. If you want to do, they will do. If they don't want to do whatever we try or whatever we do, it's not gonna happen.
because we're only fans.
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll be back in episode 7.
Yeah.
After Qatar,
Yes, correct.
and we'll give you guys a breakdown of what happened in Jeddah,
Yeah.
as well as what happened in the Qatar MotoGP.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah. So signing off for this week. You guys don't forget the race again. It's at 1 a.m. and also the qualifying is also at 1 a.m. It's on the Saturday night.
And shout out again to Ace Cafe for allowing us to have this wonderful place for ourselves to present this to you guys. It's very cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
I
you
love
guys,
that.
if you guys ever come across in a big standalone building with this signboard, tag them, like them, comment on them, and come.
And the food is good.
Yeah, merchandise is awesome too.
Yeah.
So we'll give a short video intro and outro for them as well for letting us film our podcast here.
Yeah.
So for myself, have a great weekend, full of action in Jeddah and Qatar.
Yes.
And
Full gas again.
yes, riding and driving.
But don't do that on road, please.
Yes. All right. All right. Take care and see you guys soon.
God bless.